It is in the prime area with the largest flow of people in Haymarket. There's an abandoned building. It's called the New York Club. It was once one of the most popular night shows in Haymarket. At the peak of 2000 years, turnover is over 200 grand a day. But it's such a place. It was completely abandoned after a fire. And it hasn't been dismantled until now. The fire was not serious. Redecorating doesn't affect business at all. But even now there are tall buildings all around. He's still there. Even if there is some kind of engine. Nor would it put such a good place. It's been sitting there for 20 years. What a waste. What's not profitable to build here? About this stage leader who used to work here. Said it was because it was haunted. At the New York Club, actually. There's been more than one murder. After all, what happens when you have too many drunk guests? And the New York Club is so big. Just can't do it. Take care of everyone in all directions without dead corners. So it's not unusual for guests to have some altercations. Even to the point of alcohol poisoning and foaming at the mouth. And there's a whisper about it. Someone's selling medicine here. But every time something happens, the New York Club is only closed for a few days. There was no damage at all. Because the people behind this place are not ordinary. Few dare make trouble here. Why almost? Because there was one exception. There were two rich kids from out of town. I drink something I can't even tell you. Luckily, I ran into a face. Pretty lady guest. You know, they were both kind of indiscretions. There's no limit when you're drunk. You drag the girl into the box and you make friends with him. Give the girl scared face is white crazy struggle. He bit the hand of one of them. The rich kid leaves the girl when it hurts. Picked up the bottle and smashed it. I used to watch a lot of gangster movies. Always thought it was easy to hold a bottle with your head. But in fact, you don't know how thick a bottle is until you get it. The blast hit the girl on the back of the head. People just disappeared. There's no time to salvage an intracranial hemorrhage. It wasn't long before the police arrived. That's when the strange thing happened. There's nothing to tell about the process. Should I grab or ask? Pulled a banner to take the body away. Almost ready to call it a day. And the lieutenant in charge found out. A policeman named Lee jumping. There's blood on the pant leg. There's nothing here. There's boxes all over the place. But this Lee jumping is hard cold pressure route did not enter the box. Just pulled a banner around the perimeter. And the more the captain looks, the worse it looks. This blood looks like it was picked up by hand. Some are deep, some are shallow and some are hard. Eventually this was downplayed. It doesn't affect business. But the place has been on fire since then. The guy started burning at the bar and it went out in a few minutes. But the bad thing is that 3 chisels a week are not bigger. And there's no trace of it. Like nature. Make everyone suspicious. While a few of the staff were discussing it. I can't help but think the other way. About this. I have to say this. An iconic building not far from the New York Club. Palace of Eternal Happiness. According to a dubious legend, it used to be a place of execution. There are 6 other pillars on it that belong to the soul. Because the club is so close. You might be affected. The most important thing is the rich kid didn't go to jail after the incident. Because someone else took care of it. So everyone thinks it's the girl with the beef. And then there were the cleaners sewing the walls of that box. Found blood oozing out. It's not a big deal. No one had time to panic. A fire broke out that night. Not in the same league as the last few times. Quite a few people were burned. I don't know if there's death. Because it was kept a secret. But the impact on the building as a whole is not huge. You can see it in the later photos. There are burn marks right here on the dance floor. The back is almost as good as new. Logically speaking, it does not affect the continuation of business. But he just stopped. And there hasn't been any movement until now. Because of the closure of the club. Maybe it has something to do with these supernatural legends of force majeure. Or maybe not. I can't promise. But the reason why they didn't, I can still be sure. All because the bosses behind the scenes tend to mix confusion of ownership. Plus there's a lot of cases involved. The case wasn't closed until last year. So it's impossible to dismantle. Just leave it there. This is a waste of shape. It has become a must-see for many explorers. So in the end, the above content is shared by some local friends. Non-fidelity. Just watch and play.